You've been there before. Someone says something small, a careless comment, a delay, a tone, and suddenly your heart races. You smile on the outside, but inside, something snaps. Anger, shame, fear. It's like a storm breaking loose under your skin. You tell yourself to stay calm, but the more you fight it, the stronger it gets. That's the paradox. Emotions don't obey force, they obey understanding. Psychologists don't control emotions by suppressing them, they guide them, like a surfer guiding waves that can't be stopped, but can be ridden. Every feeling, even rage or jealousy, carries data, not danger. It's your mind's language, whispering, something important is happening. The secret isn't to silence emotions, it's to decode them before they control you. And once you understand the map of your inner world, you don't just manage your emotions, you master the storm. Imagine your brain as a city. Most of the time, the logical part, the calm, responsible mayor, runs things smoothly. But deep beneath the city, in the oldest part of your brain, lives a small, fiery creature, the emotional guard. When it senses threat, rejection, embarrassment, unfairness, it doesn't wait for the mayor's approval. It pulls the fire alarm. Your heart pounds, your chest tightens, your thoughts scatter. That guard is your amygdala, a tiny almond-shaped structure that reacts before you even think. Its job is to protect you, but sometimes it confuses discomfort with danger. That's why one harsh text or silent treatment can feel like an emotional explosion. Your brain isn't broken, it's ancient. Psychologists call this the amygdala hijack, when your emotional brain takes over your rational one. And the only way out is awareness, because you can't win a fight against your emotions, but you can name the creature that's hijacking you. And the moment you recognize it, my amygdala's on fire again, you move from reaction to reflection. That's the first step to emotional control. When emotions rush in, most people fight or flee. But psychologists do something strange. They talk to their emotions, like old friends bringing urgent news. It might sound odd, but labeling what you feel actually quiets your brain. Neuroscience proves it. When you put words to feelings, I feel hurt, I feel left out, I feel scared, the overactive amygdala calms down. Language moves the storm from the emotional part of your brain to the thinking part. It's like turning a wildfire into a candle flame, still warm, but now contained. This is called affect labeling, and psychologists use it constantly. It's simple, but not easy, because naming emotions requires honesty, and honesty requires courage. Next time your chest tightens or your throat burns, pause for 5 seconds and say, something in me feels angry. Something in me feels small. Notice how that tiny sentence changes the entire scene. You're no longer drowning in the emotion, you're watching it, like a wave passing by. That's emotional intelligence in action, turning chaos into comprehension, reaction into reflection, and pain into information. Most people treat emotions like intruders, something to shut down, hide, or escape. But psychologists see emotions as messengers, each one carrying an urgent letter from your unconscious mind. Anger says, your boundaries are being crossed. Sadness says, you've lost something that mattered. Anxiety says, you're stepping into the unknown. If you ignore these messages, they don't disappear. They shout louder, through headaches, exhaustion, or sudden tears. But when you listen, emotions soften. They've delivered their message, and their job is done. Imagine emotions as friendly postmen, knocking on your door, holding envelopes labeled fear, guilt, loneliness. If you slam the door, they'll come back louder. But if you open it, read the letter, and thank them, they'll move on quietly. Psychologists don't try to feel positive all the time. They aim to feel accurately. Because every emotion, even the dark ones, tells you what you value most. Once you start decoding your emotions, instead of fearing them, you stop being afraid of yourself. And that's the beginning of real freedom. Between every feeling and every reaction, there's a small, invisible space. Most people never notice it. They go straight from feeling to doing, from anger to shouting, from fear to hiding, from shame to pretending. But psychologists live inside that tiny gap. It's where emotional freedom begins. In that space, you can pause and ask one simple question. What is this feeling asking of me? Not forcing me to do, but asking me to understand. That pause rewires your brain. It moves you from reaction to response, from being pushed by your emotions to being guided by them. At first, the space feels microscopic, but with practice, journaling, mindful breathing, honest reflection, it widens. And one day, someone says something cruel, and instead of exploding, you breathe. You still feel the sting, but you don't drown in it. You watch it rise and fade. That's emotional maturity. Not feeling less, but learning how to dance with what you feel. You don't need to be a psychologist to do this. You just need to start noticing the space and step into it again and again until it becomes your new home. Remember the storm at the beginning? The racing heart, the shaky hands, the words you wished you hadn't said? Now imagine this. The same storm appears, but you don't panic. You stand in it. You listen. You feel the rain hit your skin, but it doesn't drown you anymore. You've become the calm inside the chaos. This is what emotional mastery truly is. Not the absence of emotion, but the quiet confidence that says, whatever I feel, I can face. Psychologists aren't immune to pain. They just have a habit. They pause, name, and listen until emotion becomes understanding. Every time you practice this, your brain changes. Neural pathways strengthen. The space between feeling and reaction widens. You become steady. Not cold, not numb, steady. And slowly, you realize something extraordinary. Emotional control isn't about winning against your feelings. It's about befriending them. Because when you stop fighting yourself, you stop suffering twice. You don't escape the storm. You become the sky that holds it.